Oh, I thought we was going to be the spectacle club today.
No, I don't know if my computer is far enough away that I'm going to be able to see it properly.
What?
Well, because if I have writing that's too close to me, I can't read it without my glasses.
All right. Well, that
Do you know,
makes sense.
do you know what I mean?
No, because my eyesight
Yes.
generally is okay, but it's been affected by the chemo and the drugs that I'm on at the minute. So my eyesight varies. Sometimes it's really good, and other times it's not very good. Like today, for instance, everything is blurry, but I can feel when my eyesight is going to be bad.
Okay.
So like my eyes in
Weird,
my eye
yeah.
socket feel different, and I think, oh, my eyesight's really blurry today.
I get you. So
Yeah.
when your eyesight is bad, do you struggle to see things that are far away or
Yeah,
close?
further.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
I'm the
everything.
opposite. I only need glasses for reading, and that's only
Oh,
been recently.
no, everything further away just gets a little bit blurry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's annoying.
I know, but never mind. At least
Never
mine
mind.
isn't age related, like the rest of my ailments.
Hey!
That wasn't a dig at you, although it sounded like it.
Well, we can be spectacle twins. That's
Yeah,
fine. I may be whipping them off and on and all sorts.
that's
But
right.
on that note, I don't know if I've shown you all my sweatshirt. Hang on.
That's great. But for those listening, not going to be able to see it, Kate.
Yeah, I know, but that means that, just have a look on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's it. Our faces, our delightful faces are on YouTube. So
Have bespectacled faces today. Oh, I love that. Where did you get that from? Because
Timu.
Josie found a website that had loads of Mothman things on it, and she sent it to you. Did you see it?
I've got so many things saved in my basket
Have
for when
you?
I have got the money to get them. This place will be, much to Claire's disgust, it will be so Mothmanned up. Yeah, she'll hate it, but
Yeah,
it's fine.
it is
Mothman
fine.
is my love. And for those of you that are not seeing this, I have a sweatshirt with a little screaming Mothman sitting in a little chair, and it says, "Screaming is self-care."
Yes, Mothman. His little armchair. I love that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
He's
I
so
love that.
cute.
Yeah. Did you see the Instagram post that I put up about the bat?
Yes, I did. That was
So,
definitely Mothman.
well,
And
that's what I thought. And then Josie went,
I'm going to have to stop you there because my shopping's just turned up.
oh, my sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Batman thing. Josie was like,
Huge.
why is there? It's not a moth, it's a bat. So that's Batman, not Mothman. I was like, shut
Batman.
up.
Shut up.
You don't
Yeah.
even
I
know,
mean,
do
that's
you?
that's true, but I didn't even think of that, to be
No,
fair.
neither did I. It looks like
I just saw
Mothman.
of it and I was like, "Oh, Mothman."
Exactly. And she was like, that's a bat. That's going to be Batman. I was just like, what do you know?
Does she not realise that Batman isn't real?
Yeah, but exactly. Batman's not even real. It's
Exactly.
not going to be Batman, is it? God's sake.
He's purely fictional.
What are you talking about?
Crazy.
Yes. But I do have, however, a random blam.
Go.
So, my random blam is about bears.
Oh, I love bears.
Yep.
Is it about waking them up and taking a photo of them?
Mustn't. But did you know, though, that bears love to be woken up to have their picture taken?
Or do they?
So that law makes them really sad.
Oh, they hate that law.
Yep. Oh, I don't know where my blam's gone. Oh, hold on. Right, so brown bears
Yes.
have a face that they use to let other bears know that they want to play.
Oh my God, that's
And
adorable.
it's called their play face, and it's an open mouth grin. I don't think bears, you can class that as a grin, can you? I think if you see a bear's teeth, you're not going to go, oh, he's smiling at me.
Oh, he wants to play.
Goodness.
As he
Yeah,
tears your face off with
absolutely.
that is cute though.
Yeah.
Really cute.
Yep.
My blam is also about things that are fluffy. Because my episode today is called The Tale of Two Monsters.
All
And
right.
it's not monsters as in like monster in the morgue.
Yep.
It's monsters as in literal monsters, cryptids.
Cool.
So it's the tale of two cryptids. So my random blam is about cryptids. And did you know that apparently years ago there were cryptids that everyone talked about as cryptids that now we know as just like normal animals? But it's
Really?
yeah, years ago they were listed in like the cryptids, like alongside Nessie, alongside Bigfoot, things like that.
Oh.
So one of them was the platypus, and
Really?
and
That's hilarious.
they thought it was from folklore, and it was this like little mystical creature
With
that
his
had
flappy
like
feet.
flappy feet, flappy beaver tail, head of a duck, and all that. So he
Yeah.
was listed as a cryptid, and then we found out that he was a platypus, and he was just a weird animal.
In what year do you know?
1799.
Oh, so not even like
So yeah,
1500s.
they thought it was a hoax. So someone drew a picture of a platypus and said, "This is what I saw, and it came at me," and everyone
With
was
its
like,
tail and its beak.
exactly. And everyone was like, yeah, that's not true. That's a hoax. Like they're winding us up to get like fame and fortune. And it wasn't, it was a platypus.
Oh.
Another one was the giant squid. That was listed
Yeah.
as a cryptid, and then it turned out to be real.
Yep.
And
I've seen them.
giant squids go back 2,000 years.
Wow.
And another one is sea serpents. So sailors would come in and say, I saw this giant serpent. I don't know why he's got
Out
that kind
on
of
the
accent.
water.
He's got, I see a giant sea serpent. I don't know why my sailors would have that accent, but it just felt right. And
Cool, blimey.
they turned out to be real. They turned out to have a body of 56 feet, which is about 17 meters. What is that?
Great.
What is that?
I don't even know.
I don't
It's
even know
Yorkshire,
either.
isn't it? That's like farmer's Yorkshire accent.
Yeah, farmers, yeah. Yeah, so the giant oarfish, blah, blah, blah. And last of all, the unicorn. Before you freak out, let me explain. So there was reports of horses with a horn, and they named it the unicorn because it just had the one horn. And experts say that this then turned out to be a rhino.
Ah, I
But it
always
is,
get that mixed up.
I know, I'm like,
Gosh.
unicorn, rhino, what is it? But yeah, so apparently they're saying that years ago, because of its size and, you know, the fact that it was on four legs and it used to run through the fields and all that, and it had this horn that came up, they thought it was a horse, or maybe they reported it as a horse-like animal.
Okay.
Don't know, but they couldn't call it a horse because they knew what horses were.
Yeah.
So they called it a unicorn because it had
Oh,
had the
unique horn.
unique horn in the front of its head. So yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So now we'll go on to two other cryptids.
All right. But
So,
before that, random
random
blams.
blams.
Done.
Done. Any other business?
Yes, we have other business today.
Yes.
Other business. We've got a shout out to give to Elizabeth. Elizabeth has,
Elizabeth.
honestly, Elizabeth, thank you so much, because
Thank you,
Elizabeth has
thank you.
joined our little Blamily and now has access to all of the Blam episodes, which there are quite a lot on there now.
There is a lot, actually. There's more than 40.
There's loads of Blam episodes, so that's a 40 extra additional episodes now available to you, and all the additional ones coming next.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And some other stuff coming next.
Some other stuff. Yeah, real
But we
soon.
can't say. Shh. Shh. Yeah. Oh, that was great. Any other business. So
Yeah.
welcome, Elizabeth.
Welcome.
Welcome to the family. Blamily, I should say. Blamily. All right. Well, should we episode then?
Let's do it.
All right.
I've just realised as well that whenever we record, I generally drink out of this mug. This is a Winnie the Pooh mug with a H on it. And it's just occurred to me that people watching might go, why is she drinking out of a cup with a H on it? So I thought I'd just explain. I bought this cup quite a few years ago for our friend called Helen. It has remained at my house ever since.
Oh, I just always assumed that it was Hayley's.
No. Oh, that's a good point. No, it's not. No.
Oh.
Nope.
It's Helen's.
It's Helen's cup that has never made it to Helen because it's so comfortable to drink out of. So it is now my cup.
I'm drinking out of my favourite cup, but I am not going to divulge what it is because I could upset a lot of people in America.
Oh,
because it's an American sports team.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So I drink out of this side. So it's a lovely red cup.
Just a plain red mug with a funny symbol on the front.
With a peculiar thing on the side.
Is that an eagle?
Oh, no. Hush your mouth. No, it's not. Anyone in America would know what team it is just by looking at that bit.
Oh, is it some sort of Boston team?
Yes, it is.
I don't know what they're called, but I've got a feeling it's like the Boston Red Flags. Is that right?
Oh, it's not.
No.
No.
Right.
No,
I don't know anything about America.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Good morning.
I actually hold my hands up. I had forgotten that we was recording today, and I had planned out my entire day without recording.
Without even a second thought for me.
No, and then you messaged and was like, oh, what time are we recording? And I was like, oh, sugar.
It's a good job that you weren't out though, because that would have been even worse.
I was almost.
Yeah, but imagine if you'd like literally gone out for the day.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what time are we recording? And you were like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but don't worry, we're here now.
Yeah, here we are.
And Katie's going to deliver a great episode.
Oh, God. Don't say that. I have got a tale of two cryptids for you today, and then I have a question at the end of it which relates to my blam that I've just done.
Yep.
And obviously what we're going to talk about.
Cool.
So I'm going to start with the first of the two cryptids, which is the Flatwoods Monster. On the serene evening of September 12th, 1952, the tranquil town of Flatwoods, West Virginia, lay bathed in the soft glow of twilight. The sun had dropped below the rolling hills, and around 7:15 p.m., two brothers, Edward and Fred May, were playing outside with their friend Tommy Hyer. Hiya. Suddenly, an extraordinarily bright sight and light captured their attention. A vibrant, fiery object blazed across the sky, illuminating the night with its radiant glow. before it seemingly plummeted into the nearby hillside. The boys were gobsmacked. They couldn't wait to see what it was, but they legged it home to tell their mum. And their mum was Kathleen May. They burst indoors and started ranting about this story, saying we saw this big bright light in the sky and it lit everything up and it flew across the sky and then it burst into the countryside and we think it was something that crashed. And Kathleen was like, oh, well, fucking hell, let's go and have a look. It's not a direct quote, but she was pretty much like, let's go and see. So she rallied a small group to embark on their investigation. Along with her sons and Tommy, they were joined by other local boys, Neil Nunley and Ronnie Shaver, as well as 17-year-old National Guardsman Eugene Lemon.
These surnames are something
I know,
else.
I know.
Shaver, Hire, Lemon.
Shaver, hiya, Nunley, and Lemon. Even their family dog, sensing the thrill of adventure and the possible walkies in the countryside, was like, I'll come too. So they did. So armed with flashlights, or as we would call them, torches, they set off, and by this time it was pretty much pitch black. So they ventured off to find what had crashed into the countryside. As they approached the mysterious site of the crash, they climbed the hill. An unsettling atmosphere washed over them, and it got thicker with every step. A dense mist clung to the air, carrying a sharp, acrid stench similar to charred metal and sulfur. The dog, filled with an instinctive unease, dashed ahead into the shadowy thicket, but very quickly turned round and came flying back out, and he was like, nope. He was panting. He was panting and whimpering, and he looked terrified. He didn't go any further back into the woods. He was like, nope, I've seen enough. And that alone should have spelled warning for them, but they were just too curious. They were so curious that they just said, let's carry on and see what's what. Suddenly, Eugene Lemon's flashlight pierced through the dense fog and illuminated something quite grotesque and surreal. What they saw sent chills down their spines, a sight that would etch itself indelibly into their memories. Before them stood an enormous figure, looming up at an impressive height of 10 foot. Its head was uniquely spade-shaped, and they explained it as like the sort of shape as like the top of an ace on a set of playing cards.
Yeah.
And piercing through the mist, they could clearly see that its eyes were glowing with a fierce orangey red. And the creature's body appeared to be composed of like some kind of metallic alloy. And they said it resembled like armor plating that had a really reflective light on it. It had long clawed hands extended from massive arms. It gave an aura of both power and menace. Most disturbingly, the creature didn't seem to walk. It glided effortlessly towards them, and its movement was eerily silent. A chilling hissing sound pierced the air, sending shivers down their spines. And at that point, that was enough for them. They were like, okay, we've seen it now. Thank you, bye. So Kathleen, Eugene, and the boys turned and ran, their hearts racing as they sprinted down the hill, and they literally didn't stop running until they got back to town, and thinking that, you know, it wouldn't venture into the town. This was a thing that had crashed into the woods and it was going to stay there. The sheriff and his deputies hurried to the site to investigate when Kathleen and the guys had reported it to them. However, by the time they arrived, the creature had vanished without a trace. What they did discover, though, was unsettling. There was dramatic, and excuse this terminology, but this is what they said. There was dramatic skid marks. And I thought, I bet there was. Because if I'd
That's from the dog.
yeah, that would have been from me, 100%. Dramatic skid marks. There was dramatic skid marks etched into the earth, which kind of looked like something had kind of turned and run with something that had big claws. There was a peculiar oily residue that was pulled in the ground near where they'd seen it. And above all of that, they could still smell this potent stench that they all described as similar to like that smell of sulfur. So like eggs, basically. No creature was found. The tale that these guys told swiftly captured the imagination of local residents and the wider public. It made headlines in the newspapers across the nation, and it was dubbed the Braxton County Monster. And it was also called the Flatwoods Monster because it happened in Flatwoods. Kathleen May, the mother, a pivotal witness, offered a vivid account of the mysterious being to a very talented artist, and they made this like illustration of what Kathleen had said it looked like. It had this spade head, had armor that was kind of luminous as well. It had glowing red eyes, sharp claws, and everyone was intrigued by it. The US Air Force launched an investigation as part of Project Blue Book, which we've heard about before when we've spoken about UFO sightings. We spoke about Project Blue Book when we talked about the Tic Tac UFO.
Mm-hmm.
And so this investigation was put in Project Blue Book, their ongoing attempt to study UFO sightings. After careful analysis, their official conclusion was surprisingly straightforward. The dazzling fireball observed in the evening was simply a meteor. And this was corroborated by multiple witnesses from several states. As for the alleged creature, it was ultimately identified, and it was like case closed. It was a common barn owl. Its wide eyes reflected the beam of light, and that's what gave it the glowing red eyes.
But what about the dramatic skid marks?
I know. And what about the fact that it was fucking 10 feet tall? Its shadowy movements were distorted by the darkness and the palpable fear of the group, so that's why they got it wrong. However, with the witnesses consistently rejecting all these explanations, like all of them, the boys, Kathleen, the guardsman, Eugene Lemon, they all said, absolutely not. We know what we saw. It had this metallic-y type skin or armor. Its eyes were glowing red. It wasn't, the reflection of the flashlight. They have never wavered from that. They have maintained their story all the way through. And today, the Flatwoods Monster has woven itself into folklore of West Virginia. The town has embraced this enigmatic legend. And they actually have a quirky museum, and they've made massive monster chairs sculpted in the shape of the Flatwood Monster head. So they're like ace shaped.
That's cool.
And they even sell adorable plush toys that pay homage to the creature. Yeah.
Where's your t-shirt of that?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I need a t-shirt of that now.
Just
I
a
can't be
cryptids.
unfaithful to Mothman though. So for those on that faithful night in 1952, it was more than just a mascot or a roadside curiosity. They still maintained that they were sort of damaged by what they saw, and they spent the rest of their lives in fear. It was an imposing figure, towering at 10 feet tall, its form shrouded in mist, yet there was no mist anywhere else. The creature emitted a chilling hiss, and its glowing eyes fixated on them, instilling this sense of dread. To this day, the mystery of the Flatwoods Monster remains unsolved. And I have a question for you. I actually have two questions for you, but I'll leave those to the end.
Right.
The next one I'm going to tell you about is the Dover Demon. And the Dover Demon stands out as one of the most enigmatic. I don't know why I keep writing enigmatic because I can't say it properly. It remains one of those cryptids in American folklore.
If I had that problem, like I can't say hardly any words. I just wouldn't be able to write anything down.
Yeah, I mean, we just say it wrong, and that's fine.
That's it.
Everyone knows that about us now.
Yep.
So, emerging suddenly into a whirlwind of intrigue and apprehension, the Dover Demon faded into the mists of legend. It's a mystery that took place on a couple of chilling nights in April in 1977. And this is in the town of Dover, Massachusetts, leaving behind a trail of unusual reports that have captivated the imagination of cryptid enthusiasts all over New England. And, you know, I'm just saying, New England. Sorry, it's my mug again I'm talking about. I have a New England mug. So what lends itself to a unique quality to this case is the concentration of independent witnesses. They were all teenagers who reported their encounters with the creature in a strikingly similar way. Their vivid descriptions paint a picture of a peculiar being with otherworldly features. It had a small frame and oversized eyes, instilling both fear but also fascination. So I'm going to tell you about the sightings. So night one, so this is, from what we know, the first sighting. This is April 21st, 1977. And this was William Bartlett, and he was 17 years old. This took place on Farm Street in Dover at around 10:30 p.m. Whilst driving along Farm Street, William Bartlett caught sight of an unusual creature perched on a low stone wall. In that moment, his heart raced, and he took this thing before him that he just couldn't believe it. But he pulled over, and he was very clearly looking at this thing. It appeared to be approximately 3 to 4 foot tall. Its silhouette was lit up by a faint glow. And what captivated him the most were the fact that it had such massive eyes. And these eyes seemed to have a glow in them. He said that the glow was orangey red, and it very clearly was like of its own light. So they had no light shining directly on it. He could just see the eyes glowing through the darkness. The creature's skin was unsettling in its colour. It seemed to not have any hair whatsoever, so it was completely bald. And he said he was close enough to it that he could see the texture of its skin was almost like sandpaper or peach fuzz. So it looked textured, but
either soft or harsh. Those are very different things.
but maybe slightly sort of bobbly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can kind of understand what he's saying.
It wouldn't have been smooth.
No, not smooth,
or scaly.
not silky, and not furry, but maybe just bobbly. He said it seemed otherworldly. It had no visible nose, ears, or mouth to speak of, enhancing its bizarre and unsettling appearance. Its limbs were unnaturally thin and elongated. Creepy, that. He said it had delicate fingers that kind of curled round the rocks that it was sort of on and near. So it was kind of like grabbing onto these rocks, like holding itself there. And he said that it was kind of crawling with its hands and feet. It was kind of crawling along these rocks.
But you know what I'm picturing at the moment?
Gollum.
You know Abe from Abe's Odyssey?
Oh, yeah.
Bit like that.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Ooh, I wonder if that's where it came from.
Abe.
Abe. But he said it moved quite gracefully as it was getting its elongated fingers round these rocks. So Bartlett he didn't really know what to do. So he kind of whipped out a sketch pad and he sketched this creature. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube, I'm going to put that sketch on here now. And so, yeah, so he didn't take a picture of it. He just sketched what it would look like. And this image would become one of the most iconic representations of the Dover demon.
Can we pause a second just so I can have a little look?
I'm going to send it to you right now.
Oh, okay. A bit like a frog.
It's yeah. I mean, it's not something that you could mistake for a human or an owl or anything like that. It does look slightly amphibian-ish.
Yeah, so when you mentioned about the elongated arms and the fingers that went around the rocks, I was picturing a frog, like frog fingers. It kind of is what it looks like.
That is what it looks like, yeah.
I don't like the look it's given me though.
No. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What are you looking at? I'm just crawling over my rocks and I'm about to plop into my pond.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. It's judging us.
Me. It is.
Yeah. Night 2 is April 22nd, 1977.
This is only a few days after the first sighting.
It is. 2 distinct encounters emerged, each painting an eerie picture of the same unsettling encounter. So witness John Baxter, he was 15 years old, and as it approached midnight, John Baxter was making his way home. 15-year-old, sign of the times, isn't it? 15-year-old, like coming home on his own. There's just no way. Nearly midnight. Are you crazy? The streets were quiet and he was plodding home. In the distance, he could see a very small figure. Initially, he mistook it for a lost child, maybe, and he thought he would go over and just see if it was indeed a little child wandering lost. And as he got closer, he had this feeling of unease, and he thought something doesn't feel right. And he got closer still, and he said that the creature was nestled at the edge of like a gully, and he said it was unmistakably non-human. He said it had elongated limbs that were reminiscent of a string puppet. That was his explanation of it. He said it didn't look like any animal that was familiar to him. Its head appeared strangely large, as if it had been sculpted by an artist. Baxter watched in fascinated horror as the creature crawled with an unsettling dexterity. Its fingers were gripping the jagged rocks, as we heard in the previous encounter. He said it was very graceful as it navigated its way over the terrain. He said it was in a manner that defied nature's logic. The second witness was Abby Brabham, and she was also 15, and she was with a friend of hers called Will Tainter. This was around 12:30 a.m. and Abby Brabham was seated in a car alongside her friend Will Tainter, and she suddenly felt an inexplicable chill in the air. As they drove along the dimly lit roadside, she caught sight of the creature. She said its eyes were gleaming with an unworldly light. And this time, she describes the eyes as glowing a shade of green, not reddy orange. So I'm seeing a traffic light signal. Like, do you think, like, is this where we got the ideas for traffic signals? Because some people are seeing it as red, some people are seeing it as like an orangey red, and now someone's seen it as green.
Vibes.
Yeah, I think we've solved it. It's traffic lights. She said that it had unusually large head. She said that she could very clearly see it crawling with an eerie grace near the edge of the road. Each movement was fluid, but she said it was unnatural. It was the way it was moving. It was just unnatural. She had a sense of dread that lingered long after it had vanished off into the shadows. So, consistencies across all of these reports that we've just spoken about is the time frame. All sightings happened within a 25-hour window. The creature gave this sense of unease around all the people that saw it. The location, every encounter with this creature was within a 2-mile radius of Dover, Massachusetts. And the witnesses were all a group of teenagers. They were all unfamiliar with one another, so they didn't know each other. You've got to remember this was in the 70s, so it's not like someone had posted it on social media and someone else had thought, oh, I'll get in on that. They wouldn't have known about it, which really only lends to like the credibility of it, because why would they have all described exactly the same thing without knowing what the other one had described? But yeah, that's weird to me. That is strange to me. If it happened nowadays, I'd think, well, yeah, you know, it's just people jumping on the bandwagon of something they've seen on social media. But no. The appearance, they all said that it was a small kind of humanoid type figure. They all said that it was hairless. It had pale skin. They said that it was slightly luminescent in the dim light. They all said that it had an oversized head, exaggerated with like the proportion of its body. They said that it had glowing eyes that was almost sort of mesmerizing. Like none of them felt that they could just kind of look away. They all felt that they were sort of entranced by it, and judged by it, I'm sure. Um, they all said that it had elongated limbs, with an unearthly presence, and they all felt fascinated and also terrified by it. Now I'm going to tell you what some of the theories are. So some people have said that it's just a misidentified animal. They said it could have been a foal or a dog mistaken in the dim light. However, is a foal or a dog going to be bald?
Exactly. I was just thinking.
Is it going to be able to creep over rocks easily?
Yeah, not a foal. That would have been, the movements of that would have been quite obvious. Like, would have been
I think so.
Not fluid. It would have been very trippy.
And they all talk about these long elongated fingers that are grabbing the rocks and moving. I just don't see how you could mistake that for a dog or a foal or anything. They all said that their skin was peach-like or sandpapery. And they all said that there was absolutely no fur and no tail of any description. Don't know about that. Another explanation is prank or hoax. People said that it could have been other teens, had created something, fabricated it. It could have been these teens that had fabricated it and lied about it. Witnesses Bartlett, Baxter, and Brabham have maintained their stories throughout the decades. None of them have changed. None of them have altered their stories in any other way. They've all said, no, that's exactly what I saw. One of my favourite explanations is it's an alien, and people have said that the Dover demon has a striking similarity to the grey alien, boasting large head, glowing eyes, small body, without any recognisable facial features. Some researchers have said that it absolutely could have been a UFO experience, though no UFO sightings were reported in the Dover area in that era, in that whole era. And another explanation is that it is a New England cryptid. That's pretty much all there is to it. They've just said no, it was a cryptid. It was an animal that is not been recognised and identified. So the legacy of the Dover demon, wild in New England, it's a prominent figure in the realm of cryptid research. It was christened the Dover demon, and today the Dover demon occupies an honoured place in America's legendary cryptid cases, and it stands side by side with Mothman and the Jersey Devil. So it's gone down in folklore and mystery. And my questions are, one is, these sound very similar to Mothman. And also, do you think that, like, just for argument's sake, what if these were actually proper sightings? Like, take everything of like, well, I think it's more likely it could have been this and it could have been that. Take all of that out of it and say, for example, like these people that said about the, I saw the platypus and it had the head of a duck and the butt of a beaver, and do you know what I mean? And all this. Yep. Imagine that these things are actually true. I don't need to read anymore. Imagine these things were actually true and that you'd reported these things and everyone was like, eh.
Well, here is my opinion.
All right.
Everything at some point would have been unidentified. until sightings came along, and then it was identified. Same as the platypus. They was like, that's a cryptid, that we don't know what that is. But then more sightings happened. They found the creature, and then it was identified. So if those two were a species that were genuine, credible sighting, eventually, if that animal existed, it would have been tracked down and then named.
Well, would have or could be?
Well, if it was in the 70s and it's still not happened, then I suspect it probably won't, because it didn't happen.
Well, it's only like 40 odd years though, isn't it?
Yeah, but in that time, that species would have recreated, and then there would have been more of that species.
Yeah, but maybe it died out. Because, I mean, animals, animals that we know about go extinct. So who's to say that there was, I mean, there's only, what, one white rhino left in the world?
Yeah.
There's animals that, and because we're constantly building and introducing poison into like the water systems and the waterways and the ocean even and things like that, these things could be like Nessie could have been absolutely like real, and because of all our pollution and everything, we might have actually killed Nessie off years ago, and we're just like, oh yeah, it's forever a cryptid. Do you know what I mean? But it
Yeah,
could
no,
it
it's a valid
could
point.
be something that absolutely exists, but don't know. Or
If it did absolutely exist, then it would have had others that had existed. If that was the last one, there would have been at least two to have made that one, and then there would have been at least 2 or 4 to have made those two. So there would at some time have been more than that one. But there aren't, however, more sightings.
yeah, but you don't know that there's not more sightings because people might have gone. I'm not telling anyone I saw that. Or someone might have gone, don't be so stupid. That was probably an owl, and they've gone, yeah, probably,
That was that
and then
platypus.
just not said anything.
Yeah, very true.
I just find it intriguing that there could well be things on this planet that we have no idea about.
I think
That
absolutely there are things on this planet that are unidentified,
yeah.
especially aquatic animals.
Oh God, yeah,
There
definitely.
are massively new species that are still waiting to be identified. I do believe that. I don't know about weird little alien rock climbing things.
No, I also think that sometimes, like, what was the thing that we were talking about before with like witnesses, where witnesses just get something just wrong, and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I
but
saw
then
this and saw that, and I'm certain that he was wearing jeans," and
yeah,
then it turns out that the perpetrator was actually a woman and she had a dress on, and they're like, "Oh yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
remembered it completely different." I do believe
Well,
there's a lot of that as well.
I was in bed the other day and something ran past, and I went, "Oh my God, what was that?" And I thought it was a mouse. I think it's really small. From my witness, I'm going to give you my witness statement, all right?
Okay,
And then I'll tell you what it was.
all
My
right,
witness statement was that it was small, about what's that?
couple
Three
of inches,
inches? Yeah,
yeah.
about 3 inches. Brown in colour, quite sort of like a light brownish, and it was incredibly fast. It just went whizzing past.
Yeah,
It was Suzanne, our big, massive black cat.
there you go.
So,
Point
from
proven. Yeah.
me personally, I could have sworn that was a mouse. It was small, it was brown, and it really ran past. And actually, it looked like it. I didn't see any feet. I didn't see any legs or anything of that kind. It was kind of like a really like a ball of small fur.
How
Didn't
do
see
you
any
know that
feet
that wasn't what you saw and Suzanne was chasing the mouse?
because Josie was in front of me.
Oh,
Josie
okay.
was
And
there
she
and
just
she
saw
saw Suzanne. Yeah, but
okay.
also it wasn't on the floor. It was kind of like, oh, it looked as though it was midair, like literally come
Oh.
flying past. And it was,
Levitating mouse.
yeah, it was Suzanne that had jumped from the window down.
It's
So had
mad, isn't
Josie
it?
not been there, I'd have been like, we just had a flying mouse in the house. I'm telling you. flying
Yeah.
mouse.
I know what I saw.
I know what I saw. I won't be told otherwise. It was not an owl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
No, I do
so
think that there is a certain degree of that, of people maybe like fear.
confirmation biased as well. You
Yeah.
think,
And fear can do strange things
yeah.
to you as well. And I remember when we first moved up this way and we were driving home, and I was obviously driving, and Lewis was, I don't know, maybe 5 years old, and he was sitting in the passenger seat. And I remember driving down the country road, and what we had actually seen was an owl, a very large owl, sitting on the top of a fence post and looking towards the car, obviously with the headlights going towards it. So from our point of view, all we saw was something that looked like someone's face with glowing eyes, standing about 7 or 8 foot like high, right at the side of the road. And neither of us said anything to each other, but both of us went, "Oh my God," as we drove past it. And then you kind of have that moment of realization of like, no, actually, that was an owl sitting on top of a fence post.
Yeah.
But for that split second, it frightened the life out of both of us.
Yeah.
And I turned to Lewis and went, "Oh my God, did you think that was someone standing at the side of the road?" And he went, "Yeah, what was it? An owl?" And I went, "Yeah." And we were like, Jesus.
They get blamed for everything, don't they?
Yeah, they're frightening the life out of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
So,
think, but for other people to then see it as well, it's all right if it's just one.
hmm.
I'm not used to having glasses on. I just tried to rub my eye. I just bashed straight into my glasses.
Oh, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's weird. I'm just really intrigued by like cryptids, and whether like everyone says, yeah, that is definitely what I saw, but there's still that part of me that goes, yeah, but is it?
yeah, but that's
Is
if it
it?
was just one sighting, you can easily put that down to something. But when it's a different sightings over a couple of days
Yeah.
by different people, and it is, I am intrigued as well.
It is a bit unexplainable, the fact that these teenagers didn't know each other
Mm.
and they didn't have time to tell each other about it before the next one kind of saw it. And they all explained the same thing, or described rather. So I just think it's weird.
It is weird, and that picture is weird, man.
I know. I've got it open on my computer, and now I need to close it because I feel like it's properly judging me
It
as I'm
is.
sitting here talking about it. It's like, what are you even talking about, you idiot?
Yeah.
Right, there you go, closed.
But yeah, no,
Yeah.
that is interesting.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
you very much.
that's all right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and put my shopping away now. That's
Yes, now that your ice cream's melted.
Yeah, well, Puppy's out there, so she probably had her head in the bag and eaten half of it. So
Yeah.
she has got dog treats in there. So
Oh, bless her. All
yeah.
right, then. Well, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much,
No
and I
worries.
will catch you all
Next
next
time.
time.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. If you have enjoyed listening to our episodes, make sure you rate us and leave us a review on whatever platform you are listening.
We absolutely love hearing from you guys. So you can also help support our show by donating to our Buy Me a Coffee link. We will make sure that you get a massive shout out and a big thank you in our next week's episode.
You can also follow us on social media at Perplexed Podcasts. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and if you want to see more videos and blooper reels, subscribe to our TikTok and YouTube channels.
You can also email us your stories at perplexedpodcasts@gmail.com.
And you can find all the relevant links in the episode descriptions. Thanks for listening. Bye.